Little girl, you'd better run. Run, run, I'm coming to get you. Oh, you think your petty bullets are going to be enough to stop me? Why are you running, Miss Cunningham? Didn't your parents ever teach you to not fear the boogeyman? Oh, what are you gonna do now? Well, guess what? Taste my hammer of justice! I'm here to conquer fear and fall like the sun. I run into the heat of day, like a knife, I fight until the fight is won. In the rain, I save each and every one, till this war is won. One of the things that you hear about with the later Silent Hill games is the word mismanaged gets thrown around like the damning final words of a white-collar prosecutor. It's hard to defend against that when you look at Double Helix, who did Homecoming as their first game, and then you look at Silent Hill Downpour, developed by Vatra Games, who had an impressive one-game history before doing Downpour. Homecoming got away with it because it had some good ideas, but you just look at Downpour and the only thing I can say is, what the hell was Konami thinking? The game had everything going for it, with the whole Month of Madness in 2012 bringing it some good press. It was part of a prominent franchise where Vatra could prove they had the chops, and no, that didn't happen. For a start, Vatra made an attempt to get back to a quadrilogy-esque combat where it's supposed to be sticky and mostly not worth doing in the first place, but instead of putting in a Homecoming-style dodge move, Vatra gave Murphy a block move that doesn't let you move while doing it, and what else does the game have? Unblockable attacks. So it's like if I had a shield that worked great against swords, but if someone threw a kickball at it, it would shatter into a million pieces like it was made by the Ghosts and Goblins blacksmith. And let's talk breakable weapons. Sing it all together now. Breakable weapons do not fucking work. I can't believe developers still don't get this in 2012. At least Origins let you carry around 15 televisions in your pants, but in Downpour, if your weapon breaks, then all you can do is make do with whatever's at hand. And I don't think the zombies are gonna be too impressed with me trying to defend myself with a broken bottle. Silent Hill is bloody infested by these wastes of code. Oh, and then there's the parts of the game that rip off Condemned Criminal Origins that force you to go find an axe to break open a door. And who thought that was a good idea where there is no combat, making it the stupidest fetch quest I've ever seen? All these doors do is waste time, and this isn't restricted to just freaking doors. Oh no, Vatra went a step further and also did this to frickin' ladders. These horrible hurdles that block off the rest of the game literally turn Silent Hill Downpour into a needle in a haystack puzzle where you just have to hope you trip over the right weapon to get past it, because surprise, surprise, the game doesn't highlight weapons enough so that you can see them from across the room. And what do you know? The boat hook in the monastery was in a dark corner the whole time. Isn't that convenient? And speaking of lost weapons, Downpour pulls another hilarious gambit by crowbarring in ability loss multiple times. What is the point of carrying around the incredibly useful shotgun and fire axe weapons when Vatra just has them disappear for the flimsiest of reasons? Video games learned this back in 2002 when everyone hated Star Fox for doing it, for Pete's sake. I would be able to look past all these terrible design choices because the game does have some clever puzzles in it that hit the mark pretty frickin' hard for the old Silent Hill standard, especially the theater balcony puzzle that shows how to cleverly use the scattered document trope. But then in other spots, you get to see Vatra's magnum opus have frame rate spiking issues, and this happens all over the freaking place. Mostly when the game auto-saves, and then the game ends up freezing for 3 seconds, but what else can I expect from QA teams that had at best 10 people in them? No, I'm dead serious. Vatra had one QA team on the game that was made up of, no joke, 3 people. Okay, fine. So, Vatra Games wasn't the most highly staffed of places, and the game does have a good labor of love feel to it, even with all of its problems, and it would have been a decent game if Vatra had put a good writer on the project. Yep, just like Origins, Downfall fails because it decided to have two plots running head-on into each other, and it just ends up leaving a Don Flamingo level of plot threads in the air. Who the hell was the boogeyman? Was Napier Murphy's son? Why was Murphy fighting a nightmare version of Officer Coleridge when Murphy doesn't kill him in ending A? Why did Murphy turn into the boogeyman at the end of the game? It's kind of funny that none of these strings get tied up because the Silent Hill in this game has peaked in terms of straight up insanity. Silent Hill doesn't mince words in this game. It will straight up eat you. Well, no. More like disintegrate you and then spit you out when it feels like it. It's the first entry in the series that started to actually scare me because it is out for blood. Although the Void Chase sections fall into the Shattered Memories trap of having zero challenge, and those are just annoying up the frickin' ass. I know there are people who look to this game as the proof of how Americanization of the Silent Hill series has ruined it, but the thing is that Downpour was made by the Czech, in a small team who decided to send the inmate Murphy Pendleton to Silent Hill in order to confront the truth about his prison stay gone awry. But with all the frame rate issues, terrible design, story hangups, and bad set pieces, there's little to recommend about this game, and I think my opinion about it can best be summed up by the fact that Vatra Games decided to put this in it.
Nobody knows all the trouble I've seen. And nobody knows but Jesus.
Says a lot, doesn't it? Well, next week's gonna be the end of this series with Book of Memories, released a cool week after Downpour and Konami's Month of Madness. So until next time, here's the final score. And a victory for gamers. Hope you're in for another exciting ride next time.